Good afternoon and welcome. Today we speak to a lovely lady, Clara Han, founder and creative director of Oleah Handcrafted, a local ladies' footwear brand specially handcrafted by craftsmen in Spain using top-grade leather from Italy and Spain. Now, she believes that comfort is the forefront of their design philosophy and there is a strong commitment to never compromise on style. Oleah Handcrafted designs each pair of shoe to carry the modern woman through the demands of her day with style and confidence, and I can't wait to play with them. So here to tell us everything about the company, the shoes, the designs, everything, Clara Han, founder and creative director of Oleah Handcrafted. Welcome to the show.
Hello, welcome. Thank you so much for having me.
It is absolutely my pleasure. Now, shoes in general are one of the weaknesses that women will admit to. So tell us about the company. How did you start that? Why did you start it?
Okay, sure. So Oleah Handcrafted is a designed in Singapore ladies' footwear brand that strives to create shoes that are not only beautiful but also a delight to wear. So all of our designs are in classic silhouettes with certain twists and details and elements that flatter the ladies' legs as well. And what I mean by a delight to wear is that the brand is based on three fundamental principles of comfort, craftsmanship, and quality. So why I decided to start this footwear brand is before I'm a designer, I'm actually a consumer first. And when I was out shopping for shoes on my own, the perennial problem that I had was that I could never find shoes that were comfortable for me. One of the biggest problems that I myself faced was that, the front of my foot would always felt squeezed and I would get blisters at the front.
Right.
And those shoes that were comfortable were not nice looking, and there's a high chance that if they were very beautiful, they're probably not comfortable as well. So I decided, if I could not find something that fit me, then I would do it myself.
Right.
So that was how Oleah Handcrafted was born.
But that is something that all women say. It's very beautiful, but you suffer for the vanity. It's an uncomfortable pair of shoes, but it's a beautiful pair of shoes. It's the designer pair of shoes. It's the hot model or whatever. So what you're doing is offering us that option where we can be vain, but we can also be comfortable.
Yes, and that's very it's quite difficult to achieve. But I must say that we're quite proud that our shoes are actually. I think that we are quite close to that ideal. Yeah.
Okay, so tell me this: are Asian feet different? Is that why it is so difficult for so many of us to find shoes that are comfortable and beautiful?
Okay, so based on research done by various researchers in the podiatry department, as well as our own study and measurements that we have taken of a sample size of women, what we've found is that the general observation of the Asian population is that our feet structure is slightly wider in the forefoot and it is shorter in length. So what that means is that for a lot of ladies, when they go out there and try shoes, they tend to size up in order to fit into the front. And as a result of that, they actually get a gap at the back of the shoe, which means that they're actually not wearing the right size. So, yes, in a nutshell, just like how our facial features or our eye or our skin color is different from our Western counterparts, so are our feet bone structure as well. So, Oleah Handcrafted, what we strive to do is that, we create shoes that has been built with the Asian foot structure in mind.
Okay. Actually, what you just said reminds me of something that happened when I was on holiday with my kids a long, long time ago on a beach. And this little Caucasian kid was sort of behind us and started laughing and said, Mommy, check it out. It's like a duck and her ducklings. So then I turned around and I looked at our footprint impressions on the wet sand, and he was right. Because our feet are broader in the front. And in my case, my feet are pretty flat. So on the sand, that's exactly what I look like. It's like Mummy Duck and the babies. I mean, I wasn't insulted. I was actually very, very amused. I was taking pictures of our footprints.
Oh, so cute.
So that's true. Our feet are slightly broader, and we don't have the same big sizes. We're not 40s and 42s and stuff like that, which are actually pretty normal in the Western world. We're 36, 37 sort of sizes in the majority, right? Yeah. So if your feet are that size, is there a height that you shouldn't wear higher heels then, or is there an optimum heel height for women with feet out, generally out size?
I would say that there isn't really like an optimum height, but generally anything that's above 4 inches is going to be quite unbearable already. So
Unless there's a platform in front.
Yes, unless there's a platform in front. So our heels, the highest heels that we have are 3.5 inches.
Okay.
And we don't intend to go anything higher than that. But that being said, actually comfort is really a combination of various factors. It's not really just about heel height. There are many things that come into play. For example, the pitch of the shoe, which is basically the angle in which the shoe stands, the thickness of the footbed, and even the type of materials that you use and the workmanship involved in the shoe. All these things play a part in adding up to the comfort level of a shoe. Yeah.
Okay, we are talking to Clara Han, founder and creative director of Oleah Handcrafted. Okay, so you're a Singapore-born company. You have your shoes made from top-grade leather and craftsmen in Spain. Right?
Yes.
Then you bring the shoes here. Who designs them?
I design them myself.
You design them, okay.
Yes.
So when you're designing shoes, what are you thinking? Are you thinking Asian market, Western market? I mean, how wide are you thinking of a demographic when you're designing these shoes? How much of it is it still you're designing for yourself?
That's a very good question. I would say that, okay, when we built the shoes, so in terms of the structure and all that, it all started because we had the Asian foot structure in mind. So the form of it, yes, is for the Asian market. But what I found is that, basically anyone with slightly wider feet, be it Asian or Western, they should be able to fit into our shoes. Now, when it comes to designs, we want to look at classic silhouettes. So something that is timeless, that is elegant, that wouldn't go out of style. And yet at the same time, we want to make sure that all the designs are interesting. So we always have
because we're vain.
Yeah, correct. We want to look good.
a pair of shoes for every outfit we own.
That's true. You can never get enough shoes. Yeah. So basically, I designed all of them to be very classic, but at the same time, we have some interesting details like certain twists. So, for example, if you look at the classic shoe that we have down there.
The black one?
Yes, the black one.
Okay.
So in a normal classic shoe, the sides would typically be straight.
Right.
So we do have like a slight wave there, such that, it has a very feminine touch to it. Yeah. And it's very flattering to the legs as well. It actually makes your legs look slimmer and longer, which is what every woman wants to achieve.
I definitely want one. She says it's going to make my feet look slimmer. My legs look slimmer and longer. Yeah, I most definitely need that kind of assistance. Now, buying a good pair of shoes can be a real challenge.
Yeah.
What are some of the common issues that we face? What are some of the common mistakes that we make when we're looking at shoes?
I would say that one of the biggest issues that women have when they go shoe shopping is actually a lack of knowledge on the proper fitting of shoes. So, like I've been stressing the entire time, basically you can have a very comfortable, well-made pair of shoes, but if you're wearing them in the wrong size, then it's not going to be comfortable.
Right.
So there's a misconception that a lot of women think that bigger is better, because they're afraid if it's too small, it's going to cut into their skin.
Because somewhere along the line, they read about Victoria Beckham wearing one size bigger. So they all thought, oh, okay, then we should do that as well.
Yeah, so there's a lot of misconceptions out there. And actually, the thing about it is that if you're wearing a size that's too big for you, as you walk, in order to prevent the shoe from slipping out, your feet actually constantly adjust itself as you walk. And that's going to be very tiring for you at the end of the day. So I find that is really the biggest issue is the lack of knowledge on proper fitting.
Okay.
So what you should do when you go out there and try shoes is that really the shoe should fit snugly onto the foot.
Okay.
There shouldn't be a gap at the back in between your heel and the back of the shoe.
Shouldn't be.
Shouldn't be.
Okay.
Yeah. And then when you try and pop your foot out of the shoe, actually it should not be that easy to pop out.
Okay.
Yeah. And the reason for that is because
you're right. We've all made this mistake, myself included.
And myself included, before I, knew about the proper fitting of shoes.
Right.
So, yeah, because the thing is that in leather shoes, it would actually expand over time and it will mold to the shape of your shoes.
Right.
But if you are using like synthetic shoes made of fabric or textile, then those materials don't actually expand much and it doesn't give much room for your shoes as well.
Okay. We are speaking to Clara Han, founder and creative director of Oleah Handcrafted. I noticed there are some beautiful pairs of shoes around me, and I can't wait to slip my feet into some of them. But there are no men's shoes, so you don't make men's shoes yet?
Not at the moment.
Is that a plan?
We've had a lot of requests for men's shoes, actually. But we'll take one step at a time. We'll tackle the ladies' one first, and then we'll move on to the men's. Yeah.
But is it something that you are looking at for your future?
Yeah, I would think so, definitely in the future. So as part of our expansion plans, we definitely want to expand our product line. And at the same time, after we gain some traction in the Singapore market, we also do intend to expand into the region also. Yeah.
Okay. Let's talk about what's next since you brought up expansion plans. Let's talk about what your expansion plans are in the short term.
Okay, so in the short term, we're really looking to gain more awareness and gain more traction in the Singapore market. So we are looking at various pop-up locations as well. At the moment, we are currently stocked at Millennial Walk at a multi-label store called superlatives.co.
Okay.
And we are also going to be participating in the boutiques fair that's coming up in March this year.
Okay.
So these are some of the immediate
And
plans.
how do
that
I
we
buy
have.
a pair of shoes if I don't go to Millennial Walk?
Okay, so apart from that, we are also, you can purchase our shoes online at our website, www.oleah.co. And we offer, a free shipping and free delivery within Singapore.
Okay.
So if, let's say, you buy a pair of shoes from the website and it doesn't fit you and you want to do an exchange or a return, that is completely possible as well.
Okay, so you are clearly trying to get a broader audience in Singapore. Have you reached out to the region yet?
Not yet, but that is definitely in our plans for this year. So we are looking for, contacts and distributors and things like that in other parts, in other countries as well.
It's a challenging time for you. Exciting
Yes.
as well. Exciting but challenging.
Yes, it is. There's a lot of things that we need to do to really get our brand out there. Yep.
So what for you what is an ambition? I mean, when you started this company, did you think, I want to make the best shoe that an Asian woman could wear? What was, what's your ambition? What was your ambition when you started? What is your ambition now?
Okay, so I think when I started, really the problem that I wanted to solve was just to find a pair of shoes that was not going to squeeze the front of my foot, and it would be beautiful as well, that I could wear on a daily basis, that I wouldn't feel that I had to compromise. So I think that that is really the ultimate goal that we want to achieve.
Right.
We want the woman who actually wears the shoes to feel good about herself, to feel beautiful and feel confident as well.
I'm definitely going to try this. The
So-
woman who wants to have longer, leaner, thinner, slimmer looking legs.
Yeah, so I think that there's a lot of emphasis on, just building up the woman, because what we find that basically when you put on a pair of shoes, like when you put on a pair of high heels, instantly it elevates the way you feel. You feel a bit more confident, you feel a bit more put together.
You feel a little sexier.
Yeah, correct.
You certainly stand differently when you're in a beautiful pair of shoes.
Yes, that's
You
right.
stand straighter, your postures, you walk differently. It
Yep.
certainly gives you that little extra confidence that you didn't have when you were flopping around in your flip-flops.
Yeah, so exactly, I guess, because of that, like we want to make sure that the woman who wears our shoes feels that way about herself. So it's really about the woman that we are trying to, make them feel good and elevate them. Yeah, and apart from that, of course, at the end of the day, we do want them to feel comfortable. Okay, not to have sore feet at the end of the day. So I would say that that is really the ultimate goal when we first started. And of course, we do hope that as more people discover that about shoes, as they try them on, they will share with their friends as well. And that soon,
Everybody will have a pair.
Yeah, correct.
Okay. Well, I really, really think you should think about reaching the men. They are as vain as us girls are. Especially, actually, one of my guy colleagues has said this. He has more shoes than I do. Because unlike girls, we can be vainer with our clothes and our jewelry and
Yeah.
our accessories. For guys, it's very few things that they can do to personalize their look. And their shoes are one of those things that they can personalize their look with.
That's true. Yep. Actually, in fact, you'll be surprised. A lot of men spend a lot on their shoes as well.
I know
even
this.
more than women.
I can tell you this from experience. That is absolutely true. My husband's shoe bill is bigger than mine. That's absolutely true. Not like mine is so small, mind you. But okay, so let's play with some shoes.
Right.
If you want to come round over here
Okay.
and show me some, what would I be able to wear? Would any of these shoes be my small, fat feet size? I am having a Cinderella moment here.
Okay, so we have the Oleah Classic. So
Okay.
this is the classic black shoe, and this is in okay. Maybe we'll try this shoe. This is in a 37.5.
Okay.
And if you notice about the shoe, there's a little V cut here.
There's a V cut in the front, yes.
Correct.
I was always wondering about that. What does that mean? Or is that a comfort thing?
No, actually, the V cut is really to bring the eye towards the pointiness, so it
So if you
elongates
have wide
your foot
feet,
as well.
it makes it look longer and slimmer.
Yep.
I get it. Okay, so let's do this. I shall take my old crappy shoe off and I shall put the Oleah Handcrafted on. And it is a 37, you said, right?
This is actually a 37.5.
Wow, my feet are
You can
quite snug in there and they're very comfortable.
try the other side as well.
And it's very pretty, just so you know. I'd lift my leg up, but then you might see some other things, so which you might not want to. Okay. This is a really lovely pair of shoes. Okay, one question I didn't ask, which is probably a very important one. What are the price ranges of your shoes?
Okay, so our ballerinas actually are at $295, and the heels, the most expensive heels, are $368.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what you would actually say is a mid-price shoe. Not terribly expensive, certainly not the
Yeah.
big designer houses kind of prices. And sitting somewhere in the price range where most good quality shoes sit.
Yes, that's right. And in fact, I think, in terms of like the type of the leathers that we use, the Italian leathers, and really the craftsmanship from Spain, right? The value that you're getting is actually really very good.
Okay, the shoe that I have on right now, what is it? Calf leather? What kind of leather is this?
So this is basically a kid leather.
Okay.
Kid, which is a baby goat.
Right.
So for most of
Isn't that supposed to be slightly softer than?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Slightly softer, as well as it's more malleable also and tends to be thinner.
Okay.
So for ladies' shoes, a lot of times the luxury ladies' shoes tend to use kid leather.
Okay.
Yeah, which is more durable as well.
Okay, this has been extremely fun, and we're going to continue to do this offline as we go into the new sweep. I'm telling you, if you are in the market for new shoes for Chinese New Year or whatever festive you may be celebrating soon, you might definitely want to check them out. I just did. They feel really nice on the feet, and the heel height isn't too high. I'm going to go and look at more designs of shoes. So Oleah Handcrafted, Clara Han, thank you so much for coming and introducing it to us on Money FM 89.3. We do have a video, so if you want to see some of the shoes, that will be up on our Money FM site. Sooner than later, then you can check it out for yourself. Clara, thank you so much.
Thank you.
You're on Money FM 89.3.